Hey fellow tennis nerds, welcome to another classic racket review. This time we look at a real gem. You Fed fans know this one well. Maybe some of you have played with this one. I got a lot of messages on Instagram. It's the Wilson Pro Staff 6-1 Tour, the K-Factor version. Federer made this famous around 2007, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a racket that was more resembling the racket he used. There is actually some comments in the Tennis Warehouse review that I found quite interesting. First of all, they talked about the subtle update. This is usual for tennis rackets. They're always pretty subtle updates. The previous Tour 90, one of my favorites is the first one, had only 4 cross strings along the PVS bar. So the PVS bar is here. I've probably made some videos about this in the past. But the retail versions both had 5 cross strings. So now with this spacing, you actually have 4, similar to Federer's racket. So this one probably was the most similar to Fed's stick. What you notice more with this one compared to the previous generations, like the Encode Tour 90, was that you got a bit more spin potential with this one. And it's a stiffer racket. All the K-Factor rackets were pretty stiff, as is with this one. But it's not like stiff in terms of it murders your arm. But yeah, they are pretty firm rackets. As you can see in the specs here, if I put it up on the screen, it's 67 strung stiffness rating. So unstrung, it's around 70. Usually drops around 3 points when you add strings. Swing weight, pretty beefy, 336. But with that small head size, partly you need it for physics, otherwise you have no stability. So 336 is pretty good. Still relatively easy to swing the racket. 16-19 string pattern. Semi-open, I would say, so you get some lift on the ball compared to the Prestige Classic, for example, 1820, which I recently reviewed the reissue of. This one gives you more spin. So it's a very, very nice looking racket. I really like this design. I think they were a little bit more gutsy with racket designs in the past. Nowadays, they play really safe. I mean, Wilson's rackets look great, but they are a little bit safer than this design here. Which is a little bit more like Darth Maul inspired. So great looking frame, excellent playing frame. I took it out the other day to test it along with some other classics, so I will make more videos about classic rackets to come. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. You could play tennis well with it today, even with a semi-old string setup. I think I put round poly in the mains here. This is a while ago I strung it up, so it wasn't freshly strung. And multi in the crosses, and yeah, plays nice. I had good control. I could actually generate some pace on the ball. At the net, it feels really buttery, really nice. You know where you place the ball at all times. It's at 90 after all. I mean, it's not something you maybe use for modern tennis, but on the rec level, you can play with whatever pretty much that you feel like. Obviously, you're going to get more help. It's going to be easier to get depth on your shots if you play with a 100 square inch racket or even an oversized racket. But if you want to have fun and if you like that kind of feeling of a mid-sized racket, why not play with this one? It's fine. Or, you know, once in a while, like I do, I still have this, so I can take it out. I'm a Fed fan, as you see on the back here, and take it out and play with it. And it's kind of a blast from the past that still plays nice, but obviously with a very small sweet spot. What you notice with these rackets is as soon as you start defending, it starts getting tough, you know. But on serve, volleys, and attacking shots, you have full freedom, like really nice on the one-handed backhand. You can attack with the forehand, similar to how Federer played, like with heavy slice, and as soon as he got a forehand, he went for it. It was very aggressive back then. And yeah, great frame. Maybe you have some fond memories. Please share them in the comments if you do. I will do more classic racket reviews in the future, so if you have any recommendations or rackets you want to see on the channel or me to review, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to dig one up. If I have it, that's great. Otherwise, maybe I'll find it used somewhere and can give it a review if you like this type of stuff. But this one still plays great, and it will stay in the collection. It's still a beautiful racket, and my favorite 90 square inch frame, even more than the Prestige Classic, I would say, because this one has fond memories as well, and it plays with a little bit more power and spin than the Prestige Classic, in my opinion. That's it for this classic racket review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what kind of rackets you want to see in the future. More tennis-related stuff, you go to tennisnerd.net. If you want to get exclusive content about racket, strings, and everything else, you go to patreon.com/tennisnerd. Have a nice day now, and don't forget to play some tennis.